out. It saves me time with the recording. So one of the first things I'm feeling for a lot of you is you're spending the majority of for you. There were a lot of expenditures, either like obligatory things that you had to take care of financially, or even like recreational activities that just drain your financial resources. I feel like this is the month in which you are kind of sitting down, itemizing everything, and trying to get your financial situation on track. Others of you, I feel like, you might not be in the red, but you're just a little bit more cautious about where you're spending your money, who you're spending it on, as well as what you're really buying. I do see, once again, a lot of social events happening for you guys where there might be coming through. Just be careful about that. I see a lot of like floral arrangements. So you're going to some places that are, I feel like, very upscale, fancy restaurants, fancy venue, very beautiful, decadent, some really, really, I would say like top-notch events, okay, like weddings and things like that. I feel a lot of places with a lot of flowers, like real flowers, a lot of floral arrangements, which leads me to believe like engagement parties, or even or even like weddings. So that's that looks good. I do sense money coming through from your end to other people's end. Okay, so that is gifts, and even like paying off a lot of bills, credit card debt, and things like that. Getting your financial situation on track, where you won't be tied down, worried, or bogged down with that later on. So it looks good in that manner. Um, I feel like you have a lot of social functions, but a lot of you, your energy level is a little bit low, okay? So I feel like you're going to be a little bit drained, a little bit exhausted, and some of you, I do feel like, feeling under the weather, feeling a little bit kind of like, it's cold, I don't really want to go outside. So even though you have all these obligations, I feel like you are not kind of like dreading them a little bit. So I feel your energy level is a little bit low for this month. It's not bad, it's just a little bit lower than what I normally encounter when I read your energies. They're saying as well, there is offers coming through for love, but a lot of you are kind of hesitant. I feel like some of you are dealing with somebody who's very, very passive. They take a really, really long time to make up their mind. They're kind of like on the one hand, on the other hand, it might take them a really long time to decide on, where to go for dinner. It might take them a really long time to like, I see like, a lot of text messages exchange between you and another person. And I feel like it takes forever. So it feels like, a date. And I feel like, it's, they might be a little bit older than you, a little bit more old fashioned. But I feel that you're sitting back and you're just waiting for this person to just bite the bullet and ask you. And I feel like the other person is like on the one hand, on the other hand, and back and forth. And I feel that it might be a little bit frustrating for you. So just be patient. I feel like once that is over, once those initial steps are over, the interaction is going to flow a lot easier. I just feel that a lot of you are getting impatient. So, I feel like it's worth the wait. It's worth, like, if it were an oracle card, it would be like worth waiting for. So it's worth the wait. Don't lose your patience. Just encourage them, give them a little bit of encouragement, because I feel like you're dealing with somebody who is just different from you, and they're also very shy. And I feel like they're just very methodical, so they take a really long time to assess situations before they rush in. I do see some of you, um, especially on social media. I feel like somebody is either looking up a lot of your information, especially if you are thinking about like changing jobs. I feel like somebody is looking up your resumes, your professional accounts, or even your social media accounts. I do see an element of investigation, especially if they're doing like preliminary background check on you. For whatever reason, I do see somebody kind of like snooping in and trying to figure out if, what you're presenting is the truth. So I do see an element of that, like questions, people questioning you. and people really looking at your data, your profile, or things to make sure that you are not misrepresenting yourself. And I don't feel you're misrepresenting yourself. There isn't anything here that indicates like falsities. What I'm also feeling is some of you could also be looking at the, profiles, looking up somebody as well, just to see what they're up to, just to see what's going on, piecing getting all the pieces of the puzzle together. And then there's like an aha moment towards the end of this year. If you are like looking at other people's profiles, if you're doing a lot of social media stalking, okay? Um, the last thing I'm feeling is that there's a longing to get away. There's a longing to like take a trip. There's a longing, like a deep longing to be like somewhere that is a little bit more tropical. So a lot of you might physically be traveling. You might be traveling with people you've known for a really long time, like family members. And a lot of you might just be like just longing for a vacation, just be wanting to go somewhere else. I do sense that coming through. This kind of like strong longing for escape. So I feel that energy is going to settle and things will be okay. But I just keep seeing like longing for the sun. So let's go into your reading. Oh, one last thing that I want to say is what I'm feeling is that this is a really important month to either reform your professional public image, to reinvent your professional public image, or to like fix, okay? So like to establish it or fix it, or to, do something new. So it's something on the public front, like professional public image. It comes out very, very strongly. And I feel a lot of you are taking a different approach when it comes to, um, doing like the way that you normally behave, or the way that I feel some behavioral changes happening for you on the public front, on the professional front, okay? So let's go into your reading here. The first two cards that I have out here is the Ten of Cups as well as the Five of Wands. Now the Five of Wands is shown up first, and this is a card about conflict, inner conflict, or conflict between us and another person. And I do feel that, there could be like social expectations, family expectations coming through, telling you to, either conform, telling you that you need to do a specific thing. So I feel like, these are like deeply rooted traditional, cultural, even family expectations of you. So those of you who are, married, there might be expectations to get pregnant, to have children, to bring grandchildren into the pictures for your parents. And then the others of you, I feel like you're in an environment where everyone is a certain way. By a certain age, they're supposed to be married. By a certain age, they're supposed to have a property. Or by a certain age, they're supposed to have so many children, in the picture. So I feel like there is an inner conflict playing out between you, between like, family tradition, going by, like doing what other people expect of you. And I feel like there's an element here of, tradition, conformity, and even settling down to a stable, more relaxed, and more predictable lifestyle, or, continuing what you're doing, which is like craving more excitement in your work environment, in your home environment, or even in your relationship. So I do feel like you're kind of reaching a stage sometime this month where you are dealing with a lot of like people. They might be getting married, they might have like engagement parties, and a lot of you are just like, you know what, that sounds really nice. I'm kind of ready to settle down. But then I feel like for others of you, you want these things, but realistically, you're just like, I really want to find the right person to share my life with. So the whole concept about family planning, about, what do I want in my romantic future, or what do I want in my, to stabilize my life, these things are coming through. I feel a lot of you are going through a maturation process, where you are reconnecting with your mother figure, or like maternal figures in your life. And especially, especially for those of you who are watching this, who are like in your 30s and 40s, I feel like, that whole concept about, leaving the past behind, wanting a more stable, structured home life, and wanting to like seek the one to share a life with. I do sense that coming through for many of you, and you're grappling this dilemma within yourself about, freedom versus restrictions. In the past, you might have seen family life as very, very karmic, very troublesome, very difficult to navigate. But at this point, I feel that you are very appreciative of the people that are in your family, and you might see value in them where, if ever you needed something, you know that they're always there. So not everyone gets along, but everyone is always there for each other through thick and thin. And I feel like a deep part of you likes that, values that, and you want to have somebody in your life to share that type of unconditional loving bond with. So I feel that you're grappling this dilemma between, settling down or playing the field as well. Um, for others of you, I feel like you're going through a period of reassessment, and I feel like it has been for the past 10 months. Okay, not 10 years, 10 months. So for the past 10 months, I feel like some major changes has happened in your life. Either a major home move, a major relationship that came to fruition, or something major, like, you could also be going through like in your 50s and going through what seems like a midlife crisis. You might be just turning 30, hitting your Saturn return, and feeling a lot of responsibilities are kind of like bearing down on you, and you're trying to, reassess, like, what can I do differently so that my life is not so burdensome? What can I do differently so that I still have, full mobility, and that I'm not bogged down with too many responsibilities? So I feel like these, big existential questions are coming through as it relates to whether or not you're ready at this point to settle down. And I feel that those of you who are settled down, you're wanting more, you're wanting more excitement, and I feel like your soul is craving for more. And it feels to me that, you can take a temporary break, take a temporary journey, voyage, in order to figure these things out. So don't do anything drastic, okay? Hold off on making drastic decisions, especially as it's an opportune time for you to re-examine these issues. It's just not a time to make any drastic life changes at this present moment, especially if you're grappling with the freedom versus restriction dichotomy in your own life, okay? So the next two cards coming through, we do have the Prince of Wands. This is your energy. This is a very, very easily excitable person, somebody who's very adventurous, who's very bold, who's very, I want to say like a little bit impulsive and rash as well, okay? This is a fire sign, so this is representative of you, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. And I do feel that what I'm sensing here is that a lot of the times, well, it's linked up here with the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles in this situation, it deals with like business expansion, generosity, and it deals with like very good energy that indicates to me like good karma coming back through, okay? So I feel that in your dealings with others in the past, a lot of you have been very like open-hearted, open-handed, when you're dealing with other people, and you've always wanted to like not misrepresent yourself. You've always tried to be like very on the up and up when it comes to being truthful, being honest, and being helpful to other people. I do feel they're saying there's some blessings coming back home to roost, like good karma being repaid for this month, especially with this card, and it's right under you, which basically means that whatever good deeds you've done in the past is coming through. This is a good month for any type of generous acts, volunteering, giving at a church, like giving alms to other people, giving to shelters, or even, people like homeless people in the streets as well, like peddlers. So I do feel like some good karma coming back home to roost, and it's just a good month for you to do some charitable act, because I feel like it can pan out really well for you, okay? And I mean, in the spirit of giving, it's not always about what we get back, but I do feel this is the good month for you to see like a lot of the things that you have given out come back to you in a different way, but in an equally magnanimous manner. So I feel like it's coming back through in a very beautiful way. So I feel like you can, you know, count on some good blessings coming through for this month. And I do feel a lot of it is like I do see gift cards. I do see like you know, little financial windfalls here and there. Going to a store, buying something, and then, you know, automatically like they're all of a sudden they have like a sale, and then you get like a promotional item on top of whatever you being generous in the past, and then things coming to you in a very beautiful, fruitful way. Okay, so like unexpected blessings coming through. um, be careful about overspending. So I feel like for those of you who are dealing with financial stress and strain, take time to explore, because I feel like that's coming through for those of you, especially if you have been kind of struggling financially. I feel like there are little blessings here and there to help you. Okay. Um, I do see a lot of like bonuses, royalty checks being made out to you, and I also feel people coming to see you as well. You know, they're coming to see you, or they're asking you to have meet them for lunch and dinner and things like that. And then like the meal is paid for. So that's what I'm sensing with this card. It's like divine intervention in a very good way to like bring bad good karma. So it's very positive. Okay. Um, the next cluster here deals with the Princess of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. So the Princess of Wands, this is the Page of Wands, which traditionally denotes a messenger, okay? This is news regarding projects, contracts, and it deals with like minor, I would say like creative projects as well for those of you who are in the creative field. Especially if you're in the creative field, there is going to be a lot of financial abundance coming through here with the Queen of Pentacles. So this is not like another energy I'm sensing. This is more kind of like what you're willing, like the skills, the assets that you're bringing to the table and how you are being rewarded. So I feel that for some of you who are on a contract basis or you are working on a commission basis, I do see a lot of like good news coming through on the financial front as it pertains to like signing contract, retaining a very lucrative client, as well as like job opportunities coming through, possibly from like outside the city, further away. And I do feel like you're just like, if I take up this job, I'm gonna have to travel. So you're kind of weighing the pros and cons of whether or not to relocate, to move for a job. A lot of you are just waiting back to hear back from a job, and I do sense it's going to be in your favor. It's going to be very fruitful, where it's going to bring not only like financial stability, but it's going to bring a lot of professional success as well. So if you have been applying for work, I do feel this is the month in which, you know, you're starting to get those callbacks. You're starting to get like you know, just keep your phone free, and you know, try to not turn it on silent when you can, so that you can, you know, physically be there when the other person calls. And I do sense like some good news coming through on the financial front as well. Okay. What I'm also getting is that I feel for some of you, if you have been sharing space with another person, if you have been sharing space with another person, like if you've been living with another person, if you're renting out a room, if you're like the homeowner and you're renting out a portion of the house or portion of the room, there are some talks about, you know, raising the rent. I don't feel that it's going to be bad at all. I feel that it's justifiable, and I do sense there is some money coming through as it pertains to like tenancy, people renting out your space, or you know, things like that. Especially if you're a homeowner, if you have been waiting for somebody to occupy like a home to rent out, if you have been looking for tenants, I do feel this is the month in which, you know, you can find a very, very stable long-term tenant. Okay. For others of you, if you are dealing with an earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, And I feel for many of you, if this is an earth sign that is coming through from the past, there's some type of gift coming through from the earth sign. There's very good communication, such as like a greeting. If you have been kind of estranged from this person, I do feel that they're coming through with some or arrangements for to meet up somehow and reconnect, or even to reconnect, or even to like just meet up and catch up. So I do sense that, especially if they are more on the feminine side, like if it's a female, especially. That's what I'm sensing. I'm feeling a very very strong feminine vibe with this earth sign. Okay. What I'm also getting is that there is going to be overall good news when it comes to bonuses, commission checks, and things like that made out to you. And I do sense, it's really going to help boost your professional life. Okay. The last cluster we're dealing with here is the Death card as well as the Sun. And the Death card indicates a major, major transformation, a major ending to some things that you've been doing in the past, whether it's like I want to say like more so on the professional front. If you have been shifting from one job to the next, I do feel that at this point, a lot of you are landing a job that is going to lead to a career, okay? So you're not going to be bouncing around a lot anymore. You're like settling into a career. And then for others of you, if you have been kind of like jumping around from partner to partner, I do feel this is the month in which you're getting a little bit more serious and you're aiming for a little bit more stability. And then others of you, if you have been like, I see a lot of reform when it comes to your professional image. So I see a lot of you dressing differently, looking more professional, spending more money, like getting suits and suits custom made, or like outfits custom made, especially for the work front. And I do sense like the manner in which you speak, you are becoming a lot more professional, is what I'm sensing. And then for others, I do sense like if you are on social media specifically, and you're friends with employers or colleagues, I do feel that a lot of you are kind of like going through social media accounts and deleting things that might not that might like rub other people the wrong way, especially on the professional environment. So if you're friends with them and they can see everything that you've posted in the past, I do see some purging, some cleaning up of social media accounts. I do sense like you are trying to project more of a professional image because you are kind of afraid of other people digging up things from the past. So I do sense that, but I don't feel like it's done in a deceitful way. I feel like you're just going through a process, a big, 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 major process of maturation. And for others, I feel like if you've had a relationship in the past that, almost led to marriage, like you were together for a really long time and it almost led to marriage, I feel that this is the month in which you're finally, if that relationship ended, right? I feel that you're finally able to let it go. So I do see people on social media deleting pictures of ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, and leaving that once and for all behind in the past, so that you can invite a new person into your life and into, albeit like a uh, electronic life, but I feel that you're still, allowing yourself to move away from it and to move to a different, a new person, or to move to a different, to let things go. So it looks really good, and I do feel that, after the Death card, we have the Sun here. And the Sun greatly indicates joy, happiness, contentment that's coming through in store for you. So I do feel, towards the end of the month, this is when you're and I feel that you're going to be a lot more like just active when it comes to living your life authentically to you. Okay, so the last three cards here indicates your spiritual advice. First of all, we do have a love offer coming through. This is offer for dates. This is offer for like going out, socializing, friendship as well. But in this specific case, I do feel that this is a love offer that is being made to you. If you have been waiting around for somebody, I do feel they are coming through, and it is going to allow for a spark of passion, invigoration in a relationship, or even like, a spark of new energy that will really, really, it has the potential to grow if you choose to nurture it. So I do feel that, a lot of you, you're getting like very good news coming through overall. This is going to be a really, really good month for you. I do feel a lot of the transformation that has happened is very gradual, and I feel that a lot of you might have a new person in the picture that is allowing you to get over the previous person. So I do see a lot of people deleting pictures of exes, okay, so that when you are friends with a new person, then so that you're not haunted by memories of the past relationships or past hurts and things like that. So it looks really good. I do feel new ideas coming through, new projects coming through, work environment as well, especially if you have been waiting on some type of like either even disability is what I'm sensing, like disability payouts, that's coming in. It's going to be fruitful for you. And I do sense like recovery from health issues the beginning of the month. If you have been feeling under the weather, you're going to be re-energized by the end of the month, okay? So I feel like disability claims, if you've been in a long-standing battle, that's coming through to end things. Custody issues, it's also coming to an end as well, okay? And I feel that it's going to be ruled in your favor. So let me go into your love reading, Aries. So I just want to say I apologize for the delay in getting this video out for you guys. It's late, and I understand that I've been getting, feverish the past few days, and where I'm living right now, it's a little bit cold, so I just fever over easily. So I apologize for the delay. So let me see what's in store for Aries. The cards are not shuffling too well. Love, relationships, and romance. I feel overall, a lot of you, if you have been overindulging in food and wine and things like that, a lot of you are aiming to get yourself back into shape, especially there's like incentive, very strong incentive for you to do it this month. Mainly because you want to like restore your restore your former physique, restore to your former weight, your former size. I do sense that, a lot of you are aiming to get like back into shape and, cut down on your consumption of alcohol or even food if you have been indulging in the past, okay? It's going to be very fruitful. I feel like, it's not going to be a impossible type of journey. I do sense a lot of you are getting back into shape, which is great. And I don't feel like you're doing that just for vanity reasons. I feel that you're concerned about your health too. So it looks good. So we do have the Tower here. I'm going to pull out a few cards just to see what's going on. Okay, so let me talk about the past. So in the past position, we do have the Nine of Cups as well as the Six of Wands. The Nine of Cups basically indicates to me a situation where a lot of you might have like dated around quite a bit without having anybody serious in mind, okay? I do feel that, a lot of you were kind of like, I'm feeling that some of you were, you're like in a very good position financially. You make a lot of money. And I feel that you might have a lot of suitors in your midst. And I feel that for many of you, what I'm sensing is that they're saying like dating below you. That, and they're whoever you love, whoever you like these things are people have different criteria for what makes a good partner. But what they're saying is, I do feel that a lot of you were going around dating people that you had no serious like inclinations for. I feel like you were trying to fill up the time. You were trying to like just have something to do, okay? It's not a good or a bad thing, and it's not a judgment call, but I feel that you were making the rounds, doing the dating life, and living the single life as well. But no one really like stood out for you. And I feel that you were surrounded by people that you felt wouldn't be good relationships partner for you to begin with. So you just wanted to have fun. And I feel like that's what they meant by dating below you, where you're looking at somebody and you're just like, never in a million years would I want to date this person or like see them exclusively. But you're just having fun, and you were just going through the rounds and to just have fun and live the single life. So I feel like that was what was happening for a lot of you. What I do feel as well is I feel a lot of you, especially if you are like if you were making a lot of money, I feel a lot of money flowing out very, very quickly, like large quantities of money being spent very recklessly, okay? And this is mainly to bolster a public image, to project a certain image, a persona of yourself, in order to impress somebody, or in order to like, catch up to the standard of spending of the people that you hang out with in a social setting. So this is an energy that is very wasteful. It is also very extravagant. And I feel that for many of you, this type of lifestyle is finally catching up to you, where you're looking back and you're just like, wow, I dated these people that weren't really good for me. Or, I spent a lot of money on people that were not deserving of it, or I spent a lot of emotions in relationships that were not right for me. So I feel like you're going through this period of examination, because in the past, I feel like, especially for Aries men in general, I feel that you were attracting people who were very materialistic, very materialistic. They might have liked your public image. They might have liked the fact that you're a big spender. And I feel that you were attracting the wrong type of people in your life, love interest, and you were portraying yourself in a way that was not conducive for finding somebody who is authentic and true to you, okay? And then I feel like women, Aries women, you were dating around quite a bit. And I feel like in the process of dating, though, I feel that you came across somebody that had a very, very big ego. And I feel that, a lot of you were very captivated by this person. And I'm sensing that it could be like another fire sign or a water sign. So this is Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. I am hesitant to say water sign, mainly because I don't feel most water signs are very like, like their energy is very shy. It's a little bit more subdued. So I feel like you might have, a lot of you men, if you're dating women, I feel that you're interested in a water sign. And then for others of you who are women, Aries women, dating men, I feel like you might have been attracted to another fire sign, okay? And so that's Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. Somebody who is like very, very brave, very courageous, traveled a lot, and who has like a little bit of a big ego. Which brings us to the present moment. We do have the Nine of Swords as well as the Six of Swords. Now, the Six of Swords is kind of like moving away from a situation that was not good for you and charting new territory, traveling into the unknown. And, this is a card about hope. This is a card about not knowing what's out there, but willing to explore. Okay, so this is a big card about taking risk as well. But this is not about, being risky with the past. It's more about moving forward. And we have the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords indicates anxiety, worries, being in a situation where there's a lot of uncertainty and you're not really sure how to proceed, okay? So both of these cards are kind of like in oppositions with one another. And I do sense like for many of you, if you are involved with an air sign right now, at this moment that we're speaking, I do feel like a lot of you are at a crossroads, whether or not to end the relationship or whether or not to continue in the relationship. On the one hand, I feel like a lot of you have had a situation where you have hashed things out with an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. And then on the other hand, I feel like you're still trying to decide, like, do I really still love this person? Do I really want to be with them still? On the one hand, they're putting in the effort and, things are going well right now, but what's in store for us in the future? So you're starting to think a long term if you are involved currently with an air sign. And for those of you, and the air sign could be sun, moon, or rising. And then I feel as if a lot of you are hoping, that things are going to smooth itself out. Like if you've had a recent argument, I do sense that there's going to be a resolution. So don't make any rash decisions for this month, especially breaking up, moving away, and things like that. It's Mercury retrograde. There will be misunderstandings when it comes to communication. But on the other hand, there will be like clarity if there has been like things that were hidden in relationships. Those things are coming to light as well. So it's a double-edged sword, but you want to be a little bit careful about making drastic decisions, okay? And I'm going to talk about the crowning energy. We have here the Empress, the three of I'm sorry, this is the Empress card. It's the number 3. And the number 3 usually indicates to me in creative endeavors as well as expansion. The Empress is a very, very fertile card. It indicates to me addition, people being added to the family, addition to the family. It indicates as well thoughts about, pregnancy, thoughts about family planning, thoughts about like wanting to take a relationship to the next level, or at least like wanting to give somebody a title or wanting somebody to give you a title. So this is usually indicating when, somebody agrees to see each other exclusively and then they become like boyfriend or girlfriend or fiance and things like that, or husband and wife. So taking the relationship to the next level. A lot of you, honestly, I feel that you are in a relationship with an air sign. You're thinking about pregnancy. You're thinking about family planning. And I feel like you might be at cross purposes with each other, how to proceed forward, okay? And then others of you, I do see an element of biological clock ticking. And a lot of you are thinking about like, like trying to find a partner where both of you have the same goals, because I feel like in the past you were dating somebody who made you feel really good, that you were very, very much emotionally invested in. But I feel like that relationship, there was a lot of superficial. I feel like it's a relationship where you like the idea of the other person. You like to be seen together with the other person, but in terms of true compatibility, I don't think it was there. It might have been a relationship that was very fun, very exciting. The other person's very attractive. They know how to sweet talk to you and vice versa. But there wasn't like that emotional investment, and there wasn't enough like emotional depth in order for you to settle down with them long term and think about having a family. So I do see coming through for this month. A lot of you are involved with somebody that, either wants these things, like want to have a relationship, want to get married, want to have children, or a lot of you are thinking about this as you're dating somebody and you're trying to figure things out with another person. And so the foundation is something that we know to be true. And let me talk about the foundation before I talk about the outcome. We have here the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is a situation where we're kind of like walking away dejected, disappointed, and also very empty-handed. So I feel that a lot of you were in relationships in the past that were very fun, exciting, but it left you very empty at the end of the day. You can't really have that strong emotional connection, and I feel that you were dating somebody who had a very, very big ego, and there wasn't enough space for you in that relationship. And I feel that you're putting an end to a lot of relationships, like people that you're kind of marginally seeing but not serious with. I feel that a lot of you're letting them kind of like gradually leave your life. If they have been false and you haven't really been contacting them, I feel like they're kind of gradually dropping off, okay? We do have the Tower as well, and the Tower indicates to me things that were built on faulty foundations are quickly crumbling down. So people that that you had fun with, but they didn't really pan out when it comes to long-term romantic prospects, I feel that they're going to be kind of like left behind in your life right now. We also have what's linked up here. I pulled out some cards for the Tower because it's a major arcana card. It usually indicates some type of instability, some type of revelation, some type of news that's coming through that's causing a lot of stress and strain. I do feel for some of you, you might hear about some health issues as it pertains to an ex boyfriend, girlfriend. And then others of you, I do feel there is some type of major argument coming through, especially if you're dealing with an air sign. I do see like talks about separation, talks about where we're going to be for the holidays, your house or my house, and then there's like third party, like from your respective ends, you might not agree on whether or not to move forward, have children, take the relationship to the next level. So there's a lot of instability if you are currently dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And then others of you, there might be some news from the past as it pertains to some type of health issues, okay? So this is like diagnoses and, even like I'm feeling a health scare affecting one partner or the other, or affecting both partners. So I do feel something coming through like that, where you are being a little bit more responsible when it comes to self-protection, protecting yourself, protecting your partner, or even being a little bit more cautious about, sexual habits, which is good. It's always a good thing. So I do feel that, start it at the beginning of the month, okay? So get checked up and everything. It's also linked up here with the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles is it's a self-employed type of situation in this deck when it comes to love, relationships, and things like that, linking up with everything else. I feel like a lot of you, honestly, might have been traveling a lot, or you were dealing with somebody where, your work or their work is interfering in the ability for you both to meet. So there is going to be some arguments and, harsh words thrown about. And I feel like accusations about, like, oh, you don't care about me, you're working all the time. So I do feel work finances and like work schedule, hours, and things like that interfering in a relationship, in interfering in your ability to connect with another person or to spend time with another person. A lot of you are either self-employed or you're dating somebody who is self-employed, and it's really difficult. You might live a distance away, and it's really difficult for you to come together. And when you actually have time to come together, somebody's either on call for work or they have unexpected visitors when it comes to the work environment. I do see disagreements about attending work functions together as a unit. So you might have your own functions, they might have their own functions, or they don't want to meet you on the professional front because they don't enjoy it. So I do see something about work interfering in a relationship. There might be arguments coming through, okay? So just be very careful and be very patient with one another this month. This Mercury retrograde is going to be quite heavy as well. So what's coming through in the what's coming in? We have the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands is a situation where you are going to have to fight for the things that you really believe in. And I feel that a lot of you are going through, the dating environment, and you're going to have to root out, or at least weed out the people that are no longer serving, that can no longer give you what you want on an emotional level. So I feel like, it's like leaving behind driftwood, leaving behind dead weight, and sorting out your relationships to see who's actually real, to see what's actually important to you, okay? So this is a card about standing up for yourself. If you've been kind of like, I feel like a lot of you have been very supportive of another person. I feel like you prop them up, and then they might be like too busy for you at this point. And I feel like you're making some demands about what you want out of a relationship, how much time you're spending together, and things like that. I don't see people physically breaking up. I do see arguments coming through. And then, they're saying to defend your values, defend your beliefs. And especially if you feel like you've been neglected, if you felt alone in the relationship, even though you're still with somebody, it's really important for you to try to defend what you feel is like rightfully owed to you as a relationship partner, because I feel a lot of you are putting so much of yourself into a relationship, and the other person might be temporarily like MIA, or they're taking you for granted, or they're not aware of everything that you're putting in, mainly because they're a little bit more self-centered. So I do sense that can go both ways. One person can be more, you can be the one that's a little bit more self-centered. So I do feel some balancing act is required for this month as it pertains to those of you who are in a serious relationship or in a marriage. Okay, work-life balance is really important. Compromising is also very, very important. And I do sense a lot of you might be involved with somebody who is living at a distance, and you're trying to navigate how to meet up, how to be together in this relationship. I feel that I feel a very strong Leo vibe as some of the partners that you're dealing with. Okay, some arguments coming through with Leos specifically, and then some arguments coming through with people who are air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libras that you are dating. If you are single for this month, I feel that there is very, very high potential for like getting swept off your feet. Okay, I do see a heavy air sign and a heavy fire sign coming through. So Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. That those are coming through, and I do sense as well at social functions. It's really important to be careful what you say. I do see some mishaps, some embarrassment at social functions. So, take it with a grain of salt. Don't dwell on it too much. But I do see that coming through as, as you're going out single and trying to date. Okay. But I don't feel that it's going to be major. It's not going to be like a deal breaker in any type of social engagement. Okay. So I do wish you all the best. Be very, very patient for this month. I do see the energy of this Mercury retrograde is going to be quite heavy already. So I just wish you all the best. Be patient with your partner and with other people that you're dealing with, okay? So that concludes your reading, Aries. I wish you all very happy holidays as well. If you like a private reading, please contact me at temperatestar@gmail.com, or you can view my availability by visiting my website. The information is in the description box below. Take care of yourself. I'll be back for